Through an excessive clanking of tools, blaring rap music, and an exchange between thick Hispanic accents, an aged Logan wakes in his car. He wobbles out and finds a group of carjackers wrenching his car tires off. Logan tells them off and is immediately shot by a carjacker, knocking him prone. Following a handful of insults, the carjackers continue salvaging the car tires. Logan winces in pain as he stands. He calls for the carjackers' attention again. The carjackers are surprised as much as they are confused. They know they shot Logan, but there he is, still standing. Logan unsheathes his adamantium claws from his knuckles, but they only come out halfway. An unfazed carjacker lands a heavy blow to the side of Logan's face. Another carjacker aims a gun at Logan. Only concerned with the safety of his car, Logan shields it from the incoming bullets. He falls and is repeatedly kicked and hit with tools. With Logan prone, a shotgun is pointed at his face. There, the aged Wolverine goes full berserk. Logan continues his onslaught, slicing and stabbing through the carjackers. The carjackers eventually flee in their van. Logan retreats into his vehicle and drives away. In the privacy of a comfort room somewhere in the nearby city, Logan struggles to remove the bullets from his body. He doesn't regenerate like he used to, and his exhaustion is beginning to show. Nowadays, Logan drives a variety of passengers around the city. Over the radio, a broadcaster draws a connection between the world's problems and the existence of mutants. Another broadcaster comments on why mutants are still a topic of discussion in 2029. At a cemetery, rain crashes down as Logan waits for his passengers. A woman recognizes Logan, referring to him as Wolverine. She pleads for his help, but Logan distances himself. His passenger, a woman in her morning dress, asks who the other woman was. Logan assures her that it was simply someone crazy. Moments before entering the driver's seat, a car drives by with the other woman staring at him from the back seat. Logan visits a hospital. He is unaware that eyes follow him from across the street. He is seen secretly retrieving a package from a medical staff person. Upon returning to his vehicle, Logan is met by a man in sunglasses who apparently knows a lot about him, jokingly referring to how the retired X-Men member is now a junkie. The man knows about the encounter with carjackers the night before. He assures Logan that he means no ill intent towards him. Instead, he tells Logan about Gabriella, a Mexican woman who has stolen something of value from him. The man implies that the woman would have most likely sought Wolverine's aid. Logan denies knowing anything about the woman. The man threatens Logan about knowing the X-Man's secret, hidden somewhere south of the border. He leaves a calling card, reiterating his demands for Logan's full cooperation. Upon inspecting the card, the man is named Donald Pierce, and he is affiliated with Alkali Transigent, a research facility responsible for the mass extermination of mutants. On his drive, Logan calls about a boat purchase. He haggles that he needs the boat earlier than their initially agreed-upon date. After much disagreement, the call ends as Logan passes through the toll gates. Logan drives to an outpost to deliver the retrieved package. The package is revealed to be medication for a person detained at the outpost. An outpost attendant, Caliban, comments on Logan's tardiness and the insufficient dosage of the medicine. He also tells Logan about the person's worsening state, secretly communicating with someone from outside the facility, forcefully reading minds, asking too many questions. Logan assures Caliban that the person would do no such thing. At the back of the outpost, a large container towers over Logan. Inside, Logan meets Charles Xavier, whose powerful mind once directed the proud X-Men. Charles, in his sorry state, rolls about in his wheelchair, exclaiming about TV advertisements, among other lunacies. Denying his medication, Charles falls to the ground and triggers a seizure. The unrestrained power of Charles' fragmented mind emanates across the outpost, temporarily paralyzing Caliban and Logan. Logan manages to inject Charles with the medication, stopping the effect of his mind powers. Charles asks Logan about how long he has been in the makeshift Cerebro. Logan does not answer. Charles calms down as Logan hands him the other pills for the seizures. Charles reveals that Caliban is a new mutant. He remarks that there are forces that want to help with the situation, and that they specifically want Logan to help. He says that these forces wait for Logan at the Statue of Liberty. Logan comments how these no longer matter, as mutants have long become obsolete. Charles, upon hearing that, painfully reminisces the years Logan spent as a primal cage fighter. He reminds Logan about how he had been given a family. Leaving the container, Logan reminds Charles that that family has long gone. Charles, shouting, accuses Logan of contributing to their demise. The following day, Caliban convenes with Logan and revisits his earlier remarks about the insufficient dosage. He says that Logan has the funds for a higher dose, but is saving it for his and Charles' escape. He also reveals an adamantium bullet he found in Logan's pant pockets, saying that if Logan did want to off himself, he ought to do it once they had gone out to sea. Caliban says that for him to truly help Logan face his problems, the latter would have to trust him more. He comments on Logan's worsening state and Logan storms off. Logan returns to work. He receives a notification on his phone and goes to retrieve someone at a motel. There he meets a young girl, Laura, who guides him towards Gabriella, the woman who asked him for help at the cemetery before. She says that they need to get to Canada. Logan tells her off, but she persuades him with an offer of $50,000. Gabriella nearly faints as she tries to defend Laura from a woman. Logan guides Gabriella back to their room. There, Gabriella is revealed to be a transigen nurse from Mexico whose boyfriend wants to hunt her down and retrieve Laura. Gabriella begs Logan to deliver them to North Dakota by Friday. Logan reconvenes with Charles about his deal with Gabriella. However, when he returns to the motel, Logan discovers that Gabriella has been murdered. When Logan returns to the outpost, Caliban investigates Logan's car and discovers a stray backpack. Pierce arrives and demands Logan to produce Laura. Showing his enhanced robotic arm, Pierce threatens to use force. Shortly, Laura knocks Pierce unconscious with a steel pipe to the face. Charles, wheeling himself outside, apparently knows Laura. She was the one he had been communicating with all this time. After Laura retrieves her items from Logan, Charles invites her inside the outpost. Caliban is ordered to dispose of Pierce. At the dining table, Charles enjoys Laura's company. Logan attempts to inspect the contents of Laura's bag, but she is very protective over it. Gabriella is revealed not to be Laura's mother. Charles also assures Logan that Laura is indeed a mutant, despite not having shown any of her abilities. Out in the desert, Caliban attempts to dispose of Pierce. Unfortunately, Pierce stands, conscious and armed. A trail of military trucks rolls down the road towards them. As the outpost shakes with the oncoming trucks, Charles tries to calm Laura down. Logan carries Charles to the car, leaving Laura behind. As military cars bar the exits, armed men surround Logan's car. Pierce faces Logan, telling him how Caliban had been left out there in the desert. Logan is assaulted and is unable to retaliate. With that, Pierce orders his men to retrieve Laura from inside the outpost. Armed men surround Laura calmly eating her cereal. Moments later, a series of shrieking and gunfire emanate from the outpost. Laura steps out of the building and throws a disembodied head towards the troops. Pierce attempts to reason with Laura and reminds her of her friends back at Transigen. As Laura walks towards Pierce, metallic claws slowly emerge from her knuckles, much to Logan's surprise. After swiping at the agents, Pierce orders the troops to give chase, as Laura has regeneration powers of her own. Laura proceeds to decimate the military troops across the grounds, revealing that she also has claws on her feet, and Laura eventually manages to get into Logan's car, making their escape. After this, back at the outpost, Pierce forces Caliban to aid him in hunting down Laura by exposing the vampiric mutant to direct sunlight. At a gas station, Logan and Charles review a video taken by the now-deceased Gabriella. The video exposes the illegal activities of the Alkali Transigen facility. In the guise of a pharmaceutical company, the facility had been creating mutant children from the genetic material of mutants. The phone battery runs flat before they can finish watching the video. Charles reveals that Logan indirectly fathered Laura when Alkali used his genetic material. Logan avoids further discussing the matter. Logan rewatches Gabriella's video. The video shows that the facility was able to create a mutant, bioengineered to be significantly stronger than the younger specimen. The others. Gabriella sought more humane conditions for the children. They would seek and travel to Eden, a haven for the mutant children. Gabriella addresses Logan through the video, saying that there was no other money aside from the first $20,000. Logan and company arrive at a casino hotel. In their room, Charles and Laura enjoy an old Western film as Logan reviews the Transigen documents from Laura's backpack. He also discovers an X-Men comic book among the files. Logan airs his frustrations to Laura about how the comic book has fed into the not-so-colorful reality of life. Charles interrupts, saying that Laura, after what she has gone through, needs no lecturing on the bleakness of life. Logan tasks Laura with Charles's medication. Logan disposes of the Chrysler after retrieving the one adamantium bullet. He purchases a new car. Waiting for the tires to be fitted, he flips through the comic books at a bar. Therein, he sees Eden's geographical location. He immediately returns to the casino, only to discover that Pierce's troops have already infiltrated the building. Charles's seizures have triggered too, immobilizing all within proximity. Logan carves through the enemies and injects Charles with his medication. They swiftly make their escape while the enemy faction finds their bearings. Distracted in conversation, a wild bus sends Logan's vehicle and another car careening off the road. A couple of horses escape the other vehicle and trot onto the highway. Charles suggests that the horses must be collected. Charles uses his telepathy to calm the horses and have them walk back to the car. Logan helps get the other car back onto the road. The other group invites Logan's group to dinner. Meanwhile, some distance along the highway, Dr. Xander introduces himself to Caliban. The doctor offers the vampire mutant another chance at helping their cause. The doctor interrogates Caliban about Charles's mental condition, warning against the potential destruction behind the degeneration of the world's most dangerous mind. Logan and his group share a hearty dinner with the family, Will, his wife Catherine, and their son, Nate. Logan is seen becoming somewhat of a father figure to Laura, correcting her primal instinct. With their plates empty and hearts full, Charles laughingly recalls the years Logan spent back at the Xavier Institute. After a good night, the family offers for Logan's group to stay the night. As Charles leans over to wash his face, the water shuts off. The family reveals that the water system is forcefully shut off by a group at the pump station. Logan offers to accompany Will to fix it, right after he prepares Charles for a night's rest. In the cover of night, Logan and Will march across a vast cornfield to the pump station. Back at the home, Laura approaches Nate. She looks at his trophies and awards, and listens to music through his earphones. The son lends her his music device. Back in her room, Laura misses the company of her friends. Logan and Will fix the busted pipe. As a car rolls in, Will produces a gun from his toolkit. He affirms to Logan that there would be no need for violence. Stepping outside of the car is the owner of the farm. He threatens Will over trespassing on private property. Logan defends Will. Counting to 3, the property owner aims at Will. Logan deflects the gun onto the property owner's face, breaking their nose. Back at home, a shadowed figure approaches the bed. Charles, wrapped in white comforters, stops him from waking Laura. Charles believes that the figure is Logan. As if to give comfort, the shadowy figure places a hand on Charles' shoulder. Then, a fist plunges its metal claws blades into Charles' chest. Panic envelops him as he gasps for breath. Laura awakens and grapples with the now revealed Transigen agent, named 24. The agent has a close resemblance to Logan. Nate hits the assailant with a metal baseball bat. Through monitors mounted on a van interior, Dr. Price and Caliban, still in his cage, watch as Nate is stabbed. Logan and Will arrive home. Entering the living room, Catherine warns Will not to go to the second floor. Shortly, she screams, and a gun fires. As Will arrives at the top of the stairs, a panicked Laura shrieks as Will is stabbed and falls. Walking down the stairs is a bloodied image of the Wolverine, a fiercer Logan from his earlier years. Logan is paralyzed with confusion, or is it fear? As the agent carries Laura down a corridor, Laura cries for Logan, but he instead, running upstairs, goes to Charles's aid. As Logan struggles to carry Charles over to their car, another set of cars arrive. The property owner's posse that they encountered earlier. The property owner mistakes the agent for Logan and holds him at gunpoint. The 24 rages and slices the property owner's head clean off. Amidst the chaos, Logan attends to Charles. Slowly, life drains from the professor. From within the van, a stealthy Caliban retrieves 2 grenades. Pulling the pins, the van erupts into flames and launches Pierce outside. Blades clash as Logan and 24 go berserk on each other. Before 24 lands a devastating blow, a car crashes into him. Leaving the driver's seat, a limping Will unloads shotgun rounds into 24. He proceeds to aim the gun at Logan, assuming an attack. The gun fails to fire, and Will falls to the ground. Logan, limping and bloodied, retrieves Laura and carries her to the car. She discovers that Charles is gone. Her agony is apparent in the shrieks that follow. Retrieval units arrive the morning after to clean up the property. They collect 24 and Dr. Price injects him with a green formula to help him heal faster and become stronger. Logan buries Charles's body in the woods. Laura joins him in mourning as she holds his hand for the first time. After, Laura watches Logan trying to start the car, but failing. Logan, in his frustration, lays flat on the road. Logan later awakes to a soft voice and the jingling of chimes above his head. He is in a clinic. There, a doctor expresses his interest in mutants. They exit the clinic and Logan finds Laura waiting in the lobby. Logan learns that Laura is capable of speech. Laura enunciates the names of her friends, back at the Transigen facility. She produces the bundle of money Gabriella presented earlier for their safe passage to North Dakota. She insists that Logan must deliver her to Eden. Logan eventually gives in and starts driving. At a medical facility, Pierce reviews a retrieved photograph of Laura's friends. As he turns it over, he discovers the coordinates to Eden. Laura observes that Logan has gone weak and must rest. After prodding, Logan agrees and crawls into the back seat. Some few hours later, Laura gets into the driver's seat, starts the engine, and begins to drive. They arrive at an outpost, the rendezvous point with the other mutant children. Logan is treated there with a green formula. Logan asks for Laura, but sees her peacefully asleep. Laura watches Logan awaken from a nightmare. He asks if she, too, has nightmares. She confirms this, saying it's because she's been hurt by people. Laura presents him with the adamantium bullet. He explains how the bullet is made of the thing that makes them invincible, but it is also the only way to permanently harm them. Logan follows one of the kids, Richter, into a radio tower. The boy explains that the mutant kids only had until that day to arrive before they made their move to cross the border. Richter hands him the envelope containing the money. Logan refuses to take the money as the kids need it more than he does. At night, Logan sits by the fire when Laura walks past, ignoring him. Laura is visibly annoyed as she asks him what he plans to do next. Fearing being abandoned, they argue. Laura leaves him in disappointment. Logan awakes the following day. The kids are gone, but they left him a vial of green formula to continue his treatment. When outside, he sees trucks snaking through the forest road towards the direction of the kids. Logan struggles to follow them as he hears the kids screaming. He takes out a syringe filled with the green formula and injects himself in the neck. The chase continues, and more kids are caught, but one by one, the mutant kids are able to use their powers in self-defense. Out in the distance, Logan roars as he charges towards the group. He rampages and slices through the Transigen units. As Logan takes heavy gunfire from a truck, Laura is cornered by many Transigen units, men and trucks alike. Logan charges through them, forcefully commandeering and using a machine gun from one of the men. Laura fights back and the two share a similar ferocity. But moments later, Laura notices that Logan is weakening because the medicine is wearing off. By then, the mutants have been rounded up at a clearing. There, Pierce threatens to murder a captured Richter should Logan not stand down. Dr. Price also introduces himself as the son of the man who made Wolverine in the Weapon X program. Transigen never intended to wipe out mutant kind, but instead to control it. Mid-explanation about the facility's efforts, Logan pulls out a gun and shoots Dr. Price and Pierce, and one of the kids electrocutes the other agent. Pierce opens a car door and 24 jumps out. The two Wolverine mutants grapple with each other, their blades clashing. Pinned underneath an unattached car door, 24 growls and launches Logan away from him. Laura joins the fray as Pierce readies a harpoon gun from behind. Crawling towards the fight, Pierce shoots Logan in the leg. Laura continues her attack on 24, stabbing him multiple times in the chest with her claws. Pierce tries to harness Logan onto a truck, but he does not see the other mutant kids marching up to him. One of the kids uses their telekinesis to levitate Pierce before slamming him down hard onto the ground. Dazed, blades of grass quickly entrap him. Another kid sends electricity coursing through him. Another kid breathes frost breath on him. Pierce becomes incapacitated. Richter uses his ability to control Earth, lift a nearby truck, and crash it down upon 24. Logan commands the kids to continue with their escape. There is a thud in the truck as 24 breaks through the metal. He assaults a weakened Logan, dragging him across the ground. Laura remembers a revolver she had seen on the battlefield earlier. Unloading the other bullets, she pushes the adamantium bullet into the cylinder. 24 stabs Logan onto a hardened tree root. 24 jabs at Logan with claws before Laura blows his head off. As 24 falls, Laura runs to Logan. A now expiring Logan tells Laura to run to the border with her friends, warning her that more agents will come for them. In tears, Laura regards Logan as her father for the first time, as the life slowly fades from Logan, who has finally found family. Before they run to the border, Laura stands over a simple grave they prepared for Logan. After the kids have left, Laura stays for a bit, adjusting the grave's cross into an X in loving memory of the great Wolverine.